Oscino Fly back with another review, and this time we are reviewing Doja Cat's Planet Her. Now, Doja Cat, personally, I always felt like she's a weirdo, but she's a weirdo that makes great music. I think a lot of people that are weird in this industry makes great music. So please don't take it the wrong way when I think she's a weirdo. I think she's a weirdo in a good way. Even with the controversial stuff that she has done, especially people calling her like a bed wench and all that other stuff. But we're not going to get into none of that. We're going to be talking about her as an artist. Like I said, she's always like, yes, she's a weirdo, and you can kind of like see it in her music, but she does make great music. And I feel like that's why a lot of people rock with her. So, Doja Cat's last album, Hot Pink. I think it came out in 2018, late 2018. I never reviewed it, but I did remember liking the album. And one thing I did say, she was going to eat off that album for a good 2 years, and she did. There's a lot of songs on there that I felt like that album really put her on the map, and now she's a household name. With the being one thing about having a real good fire ass album, your follow-up, I don't know if people are really trying to top that, but it's going to be hard to top a fire ass album after you put out a real good album. Most people would consider Hot Pink a classic. I just know it had a lot of hits on there that made her a lot of money, and I remember liking the album. So what do I think about Planet Her? Let's have a talk. I see where she was going with the whole Planet Her thing, where she's a Martian, and you can see in her videos it's all futuristic, or like you can tell it's from another planet and she's doing all this stuff. I feel like the concept, like where she was doing from that, I felt like it was really great, but it doesn't transition on the album. From a music video wise, yes, you can see the theme, but from the album wise, not so much, because although the videos are all well done production videos and like it's got this alien futuristic vibe and all that other stuff, most of the time she's talking about sex on here. I'm not knocking her talking about sex on here, and I don't have a problem with her talking about sex on there, but I also feel like you're not saying much about anything that will make it sound like a concept album. I think what I was when you hear Planet Her, and this is what I'm expecting, and I'm not gonna knock points about that. I was expecting somewhat like a visual album, like a Beyonce's Lemonade, or even from an album point of view, like how Logic done his album, like The Incredible True Story. You have these two people in there, and they're going to a planet, and they're playing some of these Logic songs and all that other stuff. I think now the way albums are kind of constructed, if you're gonna have something like Planet Her, I gotta be immersed from the album from a sonically sound. So like, from a visual sound is good, but from a sonically sound, if you're gonna tell a story, I feel like you should tell the story. I don't feel like a story is told here. So let me get that off. But Woman is a real good way to start off, especially, Planet Her, but I still don't think it really tells a story. And that's how I feel about most of these songs. For one, it's really girly, and that's also not a knock, because Hot Pink is really girly. And her style is really, really girly, so it works for her. And I'm not, like I said, it's not a good thing, it's a bad thing, but it's one thing you will recognize if you're a dude listening to this. It's very, very girly. Like I said, not a bad thing. With that also being said, I used to call Logic Diet Kendrick, because there are songs on there that it sounds like, wow, Kendrick, like I can hear Kendrick on here, or he sounds like Kendrick. Doja Cat is Diet Nicki Minaj. If y'all wonder why, and like I said, this is not to construct hate, because there are times where Doja Cat sounds like Doja Cat, but when she do some of that fast rap or where she changes her voice, it sounds like Kendrick and Nicki Minaj had a baby. So, if you wonder why Nicki Minaj be saying all these bitches is my sons, a lot of them take a lot from Nick. And most of the songs on here, when she does that fast rap and she start changing her voice and all that other stuff, it sounds like a little bit of Nicki. Especially in songs like Naked, Payday. Majority of her songs, she sounds like Nicki Minaj, especially like when she gets into a second verse. Especially on songs like I Don't Do Drugs, or Need to Know, or even Even You Right. I can hear it in You Right. Even in Kiss Me More. And that's her her lead single. And I know a lot of people down there. Shout out to SZA because I think she did her thing. I know TikTok likes saying Doja Cat, but I also think people sleep on SZA's verse. I think SZA does a wonderful job on that. So shout out to SZA. Most of the stuff sound the same. Now I do not have a problem with you having the same or making it something that's yours and then creating a lane for it. I do not have a problem with that. I think Rick Ross does it. I know Common does it. I know a lot of artists that does it. I don't have a problem with that, but it is a problem with all your beats sound the same. And I understand pop songs, all this shit sonically, it usually sounds the same, and that's honestly the problem I've had with a lot of pop and R&B songs. All of them kind of sound the same. You really couldn't diverse it if you really could. So I feel like on that problem, it really does sound the same. A lot of it blends together. Going with her being lyrically kind of sounding like Nicki Minaj. Now, don't get me wrong, she has some witty stuff in here, and it's very witty. Some of the songs are really catchy for pop songs, because I don't really look at her as a rapper. I more or less look at her as a pop artist, not really much of a rapper. Especially songs like Kiss Me More and You Right. Those are very popish songs, and so if most people look at pop music, if you kind of like that sound, you would definitely dig this. Also not gonna lie, half of the time, some of the songs that annoy me. Ain't Shit is probably one of her worst songs ever. And it's not because she was bashing men. Love Is Blind by Eve is one of my favorite songs, and she bashed the hell out of that one. I don't even know you and I hate you. All I know is I don't mind the whole male bashing shit in the songs and all that shit. If a nigga did you wrong, you should talk about it. Alright, but this one, it just didn't sound right. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing. It was just weird, but not in a good way of weird. Some of the standout tracks on here, I would say, is Love the Dream, You Right by The Weeknd, also Optimist, because I think JID did a great job on there. Like I said, Kiss Me More with SZA, I think that's a great song to start with. And I'm looking at the deluxe version. Tonight with Eve, I love hearing Eve. Y'all understand, I'm a big Eve fan. That about it. Overall, it's an okay album. I still think she can eat off of this album probably for a good year or two, and her fans are going to love this. But if you try to get into Doja Cat, I'd rather you say I go listen to Hot Pink first, then come back to that and then give you your opinion. With that being said, I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. It's an okay album. It annoyed half of the time. Some of her voice when she be doing that high pitch, it annoyed me half of the time. I don't know if I could sit half of the time. I'm not gonna lie. Most of the songs I stopped through because it didn't follow up to Hot Pink. Hot Pink, yes, she had her style, but at least a lot of their songs were different to a point where it didn't sound the same. It's it was still her, but you hear her on different stuff. So her, I felt like it was just standing the line, just one tone, and it was just riding that out throughout the album. So I've definitely heard better from her. Hot Pink is definitely the better album. And I think, like I said, following an album just like Hot Pink is going to be hard, but also, it can be done. I feel like Kendrick does that all the fucking time. And I'm not trying to compare it to Kendrick or nothing else, but I'm comparing it to herself. I definitely feel like she's done better. But let me know what y'all think. Do y'all like the album? Did y'all not like the album? Let me know in the comment section. How do y'all feel about Doja Cat as an artist? I don't need to know about the other shit, but how do y'all feel about Doja Cat as an artist? Let me know in the comment section. Till then, my name is Oscino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.
Fancy ass man wear glove with rings, flying around town in a tub of wings. Found out how to make love to fiends. He mixing that fudge with the drug of dreams. She too teenage to have a drug of choice, but she fuck with that Royce like she love Detroit. She rollin'. Pharaoh.